Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. You are here at Jay-a-samei Casual Talk. Joining us today, we have hip-hop artist Equals. How are you doing, sir?
I'm alright. Hello. Shout out. I'm good, guys. How you doing, Jay?
I'm good, thanks. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're very excited to get to know a bit more about you.
Well, I'm excited to tell you more, so.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. As we get into it, I would love you to start with telling us more about your upbringing and where you are from.
Okay, so we starting the story from like the very beginning.
In the beginning.
Okay. So I come from humble beginnings. Far in the northern lands, slightly west, laid a village called Mututlum. On one chosen day in the 90s, the star was born. I remember it was raining too.
You remember?
It's actually kind of crazy. But yeah. So Mututlum is where I'm originally from, Northwest. But then I lived most of my life in Pretoria. Pretoria North, Pretoria East, West, South. Pretoria.
Mm-hmm.
So through and through Pretoria.
Hi. Okay. Pretoria
Nice
Originals,
you
we
guys.
have you. We see you. Please let us know how you discovered that music is something you want to go into.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Started in Sunday school. And not that I had a passion, but this is how I knew what alto and soprano was. I couldn't sing. I still can't. Maybe I can listen to the next album. But there was this really cute girl. She used to teach Sunday school, and I got into. I'm joking. Originally, actually, my cousin put me on into the rap game. She even got me my first chain. I was like 8. While I was doing things, dog, and she was like, "Let's get down." Birdman was still. This before Wayne. This before he had the chain. Birdman been pimping. I digress. But yeah, since I was around 8, that's when I realized I really love this music thing.
All right. That's it?
Did I fail to answer the question?
No, you answered.
Oh.
That's just a very short summary of how you fell in love with music.
Oh, wait, that was the start. That was the intro.
Okay.
Okay, no. See, at that point, that's when I knew I'm going to be a star. Now starts the trilogy. Part 2 of it, this is when I recorded my first song. This is like grade 9. Yeah. Can I say this, Mom? I'm sorry. So it was school, right? So we decided we're done with school. So we jumped the wall and we went to the home and he lived down the road. Alchemist, it was Alchemist beat, my very first beat I ever recorded on. If you actually check my Facebook, the people who have my Facebook, the rest of y'all, it's on private now, hide it. Down. You can actually find my very first track I recorded. And we recorded that song that day. Well, you can't find the song itself because data host file. If you know, you know. But we recorded that day. As soon as I got home, I made the album art. Next day at school, I already posted the shit's dropping. Yo, the homies are so mad. Like, because first and foremost, the track was terrible. And it was like, it wasn't even mixed down. It was like, the minute they send you the version, you can just go home to listen to. The very next day at school, it's the song not dropping. Like, album art, that day I knew, I said destiny. And then, yeah, I've been dream chasing ever since, honestly.
That sounds beautiful. That sounds amazing.
There's a part 3.
There's a part 3?
Save it for the next one. Yo, there's only ever been once in life where I said I quit. Funny enough, I was on 420. I had retired from music for 24 hours. That happened one time. Is that the very... that performance is bad. Right? And I remember like some of my favorite artists are there. And one of them, the first thing they told me, they said, nah, dog, don't worry, man, you were too high. It was on 420. I was so offended. I was like, motherfucker. I'm so sorry, can I was so offended. And I understood where he came from, so much so that I retired that very night. And then the next day, it was Black Labone. Funny enough, I bumped into Stan. Stan is like, nah, dog, you retired? Talking shit, man. So at that moment in time, I decided to go visit the need for me to research. He's like, nah, man, you never know what you find. Jiggy Jiggy. That was the first ever Culture Sunday. And I was retired for 24 hours.
I hear you. So how do we come about to using the name Equals? Where does the name Equals originate from? And how many other names were there before Equals was born?
Oh, crazy. Wait, like rap names or just like general nicknames?
Rap names?
Okay, thank God. I was like, I had nicknames, I had a bunch. But all cool ones. Yeah. Equals. Funny enough, that wasn't even a rap name. The story behind that is silly as hell. It's dumb, really. But like, you try to put some math behind it and say, you know what, a high power blessed me with the equation. I'm really good at math. You know, that's what I tell them. But the real story is, I take you back to 8th grade. Right? On the bus. I thought I was too cool. I always thought I was too cool in any situation. So you know when you get to high school, they do that whole orientation thing. Yeah, I was too cool for that situation. I said, nah. That time I had a bro. My bro was in like, I think he was in matric that time. So I was like, nah, dog, if all goes south, I'm gonna hold my own, but if all goes south, dog, he's not gonna let me die. I realized swiftly on the bus, that nigga gonna let me die. Cause I was supposed to have like, you know, these like prerequisites for grade 8. Like, oh no, today you gotta wear your shirt backwards, all that stuff. I did none of that. I said, nah, you're lying. Pushed up to school, my shoes polished, everything. No dumbass sign, no nothing. Just like
Confidence,
me, authentic
yeah.
me. And then Theo Malach. I'll never forget that man. On the bus, he grabbed me by the shoulder. He said, dumbass. You're like, bro, you really about to walk in, man? Bro, by the time you walk into this thing, if you don't have that board on you, me and you gonna be friends. He scared the life out of me then. I swear, like me and him laugh about the story. Yo, Theo.
Hey.
Immediately, I asked the homies. I said, "Yo, give me a piece of paper, something. Nah, I gotta get a board. I gotta put my shirt backwards. Like, the bus is already at the school. I just gotta get off the bus. But if I get off the bus without this, like he's tall. You need to understand. He plays basketball, and like I was scared, so I made a sign. You know, the sign, you know, that's your hobbies, all of that.
Yeah.
But like, cause I made mine 5 seconds. There was no answers. It was just like, yo, what is your name? Equals. What is your what equals? Equals. And then,
now I get it, Equals. Yeah.
shout out to Mark Tweeterberg. This is the one and only time I'll give him the shout out. He's the one who pointed out, oh wait, so is your name Equals? And then that name stuck.
Wow.
We're here now.
So in the music of hip hop, I know a lot of hip hop artists. Equals. I know a lot of hip hop artists. And how do you stand out from the million hip hop artists we come across daily?
Okay, I think I stand out by, you have to walk into the game with intent. And what are you doing this for? That's a very honest question you got to ask yourself from the first day. And what I figured out is I'm in it for the culture. I'm in it for my own purposes and I'm doing my own mission. Me just doing what I want to do within the culture is me shaping the culture. Because one thing that I noticed, I've always been a hip hop scholar. Like I've always been the biggest hip hop fan. And it started internationally, but it grew into the local market even more so. And I started getting a bit irritated by it's almost the lack of self-pride in local culture.
Yeah.
Like we're all like, oh yeah, we're here. But then when it comes to the industry, we're looking at what's going on over there. Not realizing that what's going on over there is looking at us like, what are you guys doing over here? So really, I'm just trying to tell the story of Gotham City, Pitori. And I think that's a story I know pretty well.
All right. In 2 minutes, please advise upcoming artists on the difference of making money and creating music as an artist.
Okay, if you're gonna create music, release it. There's no point in sitting on that music. You are wasting time. First things first, you want to get your documentation sorted. I used to think I learned that the hard way, like having to now backlog and catch up on all of this music you've released and you haven't gotten the framework done. By the time it's your time to receive the blessings, your net has holes because you never prepped yourself to receive the blessings. So what you want to do is actually gym in advance. Make sure that you're ready for your turn. Your turn is coming. Just prep yourself for your turn. You get me? So musically with it, what you want to do is really like create as much music as you possibly can. Figure out a single that works. Like out of the songs that you're releasing, out of the bass, try to figure out with the bass strategy, maybe like releasing one song a month type of situation. The song that gives you the most traction from there, grow that. And the space that we're all neglecting, guys, content. If you're just consistent with it, there's no way it doesn't pay off at the end of the day. And honestly, if you aim for the stars, the worst you can do is the moon.
Word. You say that a lot to me, actually. True. So how would you say you monetize your craft?
I mean, personally.
You personally?
Yeah. It's very weird because I don't make beats, right? So that kind of narrows the market as what you do as an artist in terms of making the money. But now I've managed to, because of the fact that music is being released consistently, you're building the streaming platform. The streaming platform is not going to pay your rent money, but it's going to give you let's go groove money. You know what I mean? It's going to give you at least survival money. Besides that, the gigs. And then a lot of artists like sitting back and wait for the gigs to come to them. I've rather embarked on bringing the gigs to me. That way I'm in charge of the entire process. So it seems tedious and a lot more work needs to be done to get to the top. But I'd like to suggest to a lot of upcoming artists, just do it yourself, man. Opportunity doesn't get given. So instead of sitting getting mad about it, just create that own opportunity. And it will start off slow, but it always ends up somewhere, man. Start.
This artwork is titled Phases of Me by the artist Zemi. For more information regarding her journey and her artistic portfolio, have a look at the description below.
So out of curiosity, I wanted to know how you bring the gigs to you.
How I bring gigs to me, I've always been a big fan of events. Initially it went from attending point of view, and then from there I like the mechanics of how the entire structure works. So me and one of my close homies and the gang really, we got together and we just started throwing house parties, man. And these house parties, you charge the entrance minimum fee. And the profits start slow, but they come in. Like, it's like a snowball effect. So as soon as you plant the seed, it'll eventually bloom into some sort of what's this thing? Revenue stream. There's also the merch line, and I think half the industry right now, everybody has their own identity going on, but we're still sleeping on the merch, guys. Like, people really like merch. Like, Heart of Pretoria. I don't know people who thrift more than Praetorians. Like, you just go there, be like, yo, man, I trip. And shout out to Lotinova Pounds. Yeah, shout out to him. I feel like how he's pushing the merch is setting new ground for the whole industry as to how to approach the situation. I haven't actually jumped into that avenue with the merch yet, but that is an avenue I'm planning to go down towards, really.
This artwork is titled Phases of Me by the artist Yzloe. For more information regarding her journey and her artistic portfolio, have a look at the description below.
Yeah, man. So if I had to wrap it down into one genuine idea, start something really cool with your friends. But make sure that your friends have the same goal. Or at least they're headed the same direction in terms of what... And, you know, if there's drive behind it...
Yeah.
Like... Because it has to equal motivation on both directions for it to work. And you never want to build a team. The team builds itself. And that's what I found at Yzloe. I didn't build this team. It built itself. So we started hosting these events and putting them together, recording clients on a daily. I'm talking beats, man. I can't even tell you about the music we got cooking now. So we literally dibbling and dabbling into every facet of the industry.
Yeah.
And the people within the team specialize in different things within the industry. So I don't have to worry about my inability to maybe communicate on social media because there's somebody who's really good at taking care of those for me. I find that all in-house. And yeah, man. What days is gonna air, by the way? Do come through to the playlist party. It's gonna be lit this Saturday. Yzloe Studio. $50 gets you entrance at the door, and then besides that, you know, you get free punch on the house. It's a party vibe. So you see, you can also monetize by throwing in a free sponsor every time you get the chance to. At the end of the day, it equates to the bag. Did I manage to get around the question?
Yes, you did.
All right, shout out.
So, moving on to the next question.
I got you.
Any new upcoming projects coming through?
Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, that's actually a good question, man. I dropped Dear Leap Year 3.1, right? Not too long ago. But then everybody's been asking, what do you mean 3.1, bro? You in Dear Leap Year 1, 2, 3.1? It's 0.1 because the first one was meant to be like the introduction. Because my initial goal was to put it out as an album, but I really didn't want to put out an album. So I split it into two sections. And Dear Leap Year 3.1 largely represents the intro to what I've been working on right now, which is about to be Dear Leap Year 3.2, which is the main body of work coming out soon in the winter. You know, the movies. That's when the best movies come out.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Equals joining us today. Thank you very much for joining us today. We've had a great time with you, and we can't wait to check out more. More information on Yzloe parties will be listed below, and we'll make sure that we list Equals streaming links at the bottom. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good one.
Shout out my nigga. Shout out my nigga. Shout out my nigga.